when your mind breaks under the weight of your unfelt emotions. A full Jungian descent into the moment your soul finally takes the throne. Close your eyes for 5 seconds, just 5. You're sitting on the cold floor, back against the wall, arms wrapped around your knees. And then you feel it. A soft, wet, inevitable crack right at the top of your skull, like a coconut finally giving in after years of being shaken. Your brain slides out slowly and falls heavy into your open hand. Cold, gray, overworked, lifeless. It looks exactly like the organ that got you A's, promotions, applause, and perfect Instagram captions. The one that told you just think harder and you'll be okay. From the empty cavity where logic used to rule, something else rises. A heart on fire, beating so violently that flames shoot out of your broken head and paint the walls red. The heat is unbearable and beautiful at the same time. Above you, floating in perfect silence, hangs a black circle full of distant stars. A black sun, a void that has been watching you since the day you decided feelings were dangerous. That image just punched you straight in the soul, didn't it? Good. Do not click away. Because what you just felt in your body is the exact moment Carl Gustav Jung spent 70 years of his life mapping, naming, painting, and living. He called it the Nigredo, the confrontation with the shadow, the night sea journey, the necessary death of the ego, the sacred psychosis. But tonight we are going to call it by its real name. The moment your soul finally stands up inside your ribcage, looks your terrified ego in the eye and says, "Move, your reign of terror is over. I will burn this entire fake life to the ground if that's what it takes for you to finally feel alive." Stay with me. In the next half hour, I'm going to walk you step by step through everything Jung discovered when he deliberately let himself fall apart in 1913. Why repressing emotion is the slowest form of suicide. Why that burning heart is not your destroyer but your savior. Why the black sun is the most merciful thing the universe can offer someone who forgot they have a soul. And exactly what happens on the other side when you stop running and let the fire do its work. If you've ever woken up successful and still wanted to disappear, if you've ever opened your mouth and heard a stranger speak, if you've ever felt dead while technically breathing, this transmission is written in your blood. And if something inside you just whispered finally, someone sees, then take the deepest breath you've taken all year and let's descend together. Zurich, Switzerland, 1913. Carl Jung is 38 years old, married, 2 children, world-famous protege of Freud, clinics full of patients, books selling, invitations pouring in. And every night he goes to bed feeling absolutely nothing. He later wrote, "I had achieved everything a man is supposed to achieve and I stood there empty." One morning he wakes up and makes the most dangerous decision any human can make. He stops lying. He takes a blank notebook, sits by Lake Zurich, and says out loud to the invisible soul, "Where are you? Speak. I am listening. Say anything. I will write it all down, no matter how shameful, how insane, how terrifying." And the soul answers. Floods of images, archetypal figures, serpents, giants, gods, murderous impulses, divine visions, erotic madness. For the next 6 years, Jung lives with 1 foot in consensual reality and 1 foot in active psychosis voluntarily. He paints mandalas every morning to keep from drowning. He builds stone castles with his own hands. He has long conversations with an inner guide named Philemon, who has blue wings and the keys to eternity. His family thinks he has lost his mind. Freud writes him off forever. The psychiatric establishment whispers that the great Carl Jung has cracked. But Jung knows exactly what he is doing. He is doing what every mystic, shaman, and alchemist before him did. He is letting the unconscious devour the old personality so the real one can be born. Out of that voluntary descent into hell, he brings back the single most important map any human being will ever need when their mind finally breaks under the weight of everything they never allowed themselves to feel. Here is the map in plain words. First truth. The ego is not the center, it is the servant who staged a coup. Your ego spent 20, 30, 40 years building a fortress and calling it me. These emotions are unacceptable. This grief will destroy me. This rage makes me a monster. This joy is childish. This desire is sinful. So it locked every living feeling in the dungeon and threw away the key. But the unconscious is not a dungeon. It is an ocean deeper than space. Every repressed emotion becomes a dragon in that ocean. The more you starve a dragon, the bigger it grows, until one day the pressure is too great and the fortress cracks from the inside. That crack is not tragedy. It is mercy. When your brain falls into your hand in that drawing, it is not punishment. It is abdication of a tyrant who thought a human being could live on thoughts alone. The heart on fire rising from your open skull is the return of the true king. Jung said the self, the deeper center of the psyche, always announces itself with fire. Moses saw a bush that burned and was not consumed. The apostles saw tongues of flame on Pentecost. The alchemists watched the red stone glow in the crucible. Same symbol across millennia. When the heart burns in the head, the great reconciliation has begun. Thinking and feeling, light and dark, masculine and feminine, human and divine. The ego wanted control. The self wants wholeness, and wholeness always begins with destruction of the false. Now look again at the black sun floating above the figure. Jung painted that exact image dozens of times in his private red book. He called it Sol Niger, the black sun. In alchemy, it is the first stage of the great work. Nigredo, the blackening. Everything must rot before anything new can grow. The black sun is depression. The black sun is meaninglessness. The black sun is the dark night of the soul. But it is also the womb of God. Inside that perfect darkness, new stars are being born. When you stare into the abyss and the abyss stares back, something ancient looks out through your eyes for the first time. Nietzsche stared and went mad. Jung stared and went sane. The difference was one single word. Yes. Jung said yes to the darkness. He said, "Nomum, come, take everything, I surrender." That is the entire secret of the second half of life. The moment your mind breaks is not the end. It is the initiation ceremony you never signed up for but always belonged to. The dragons you locked away are not here to kill you. They are here to burn away everything that was never you. The masks that suffocated you. The achievements that tasted like cardboard. The relationships built on performance. The spirituality that lived only in the head. The intellect that murdered wonder. All of it has to die, and the only way out is through the fire. Jung wrote, "No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." Your roots are reaching down right now. Feel them. Feel. If you are still listening, congratulations. Most people bolt the second the heat becomes real. But you stayed. That means the self has already chosen you. You are no longer permitted to live half dead. From this day forward, there is only one path: integration. Take the gray brain that fell into your hand and look at it with tenderness. It did its best. It kept you safe from monsters that turned out to be angels in disguise. Now thank it. Kiss it. Bury it in the garden. Because from now on you will be led by the heart that learned to burn without being consumed. You will make decisions that make zero logical sense and feel like oxygen. You will leave people who only loved your mask. You will speak truths that make rooms fall silent. You will cry in supermarkets and laugh at funerals. You will fall hopelessly, gloriously in love with being alive, even when it hurts like hell. Jung's very last words on his deathbed, when the nurse asked if he was in pain, were, "Let's have some music." That is what waits on the other side of the breaking. Music, not silence, not numbness, not the endless gray. Music. The black sun becomes gold. The dragons become winged allies. The burning heart settles back into your chest, no longer on fire, simply warm and impossibly alive. And one day you will sit with someone who is exactly where you were tonight, knees to chest, brain in hand, staring into the void, and you will take their trembling hand and say the only thing worth saying. "I know. I've been there. Let it burn. The fire is friendly." If this transmission just cracked something open inside you, do one thing right now. Save this audio, come back to it every single time the old voice whispers, pull yourself together. Because pulling yourself together is what almost killed you. From now on, the only path is falling apart on purpose. Fall. The self is waiting underneath with open arms and a heart made of living fire. You are not broken, you are breaking open. And that, according to Carl Gustav Jung, is the entire reason you were born. Welcome home.